Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 things that have rather disappointed me about this car, my Ford Freestyle. I love this car a lot. It has a very good engine and it drives very well, but there are certain things which I think Ford has cheaped out on and could have really provided those things. It would make a big difference. It was a brand new car in their lineup, and since it was introduced, I think, early last year, and when it 2018, and when it had come in the market, there were already its competitors providing these things, which I wish Ford had given us as well. So there are these 5 things I'm going to start with that actually bug me. So I'm just going to get right to it. The first one is the dead pedal. I think it's not too much for Ford to give a dead pedal. A dead pedal is quite important, especially when you're doing long driving from, say, Mumbai to Pune. You're driving for 200-300 kilometers. And although this is a manual, when you're driving on the expressway, you're on the 5th gear majority of the time, and you just need to rest your left leg. And a dead pedal is important. The i20 provides one, even in the manual and the automatic. So I don't see the problem with Ford having to give just a dead pedal. At the end of the day, it's a plastic brick that just is good for your left leg to rest on. So I think that's one very important thing where Ford shouldn't have cheaped out on. So that's that. The second point is the armrest. There is no armrest in this car. This is the top model. This is the Titanium Plus model, and I feel that like the dead pedal, this is also an essential thing, because when you're doing long driving, you need to rest your left hand. Your car is going to be in the 5th gear for a very long time. You don't need to change it. Your right hand is going to be on the steering wheel to just keep the car, the steering wheel, and to keep the car going in the right direction. You just need one hand for that. The other hand needs to rest, and they could have really given armrest out here. I don't think that's too much. Again, it's just a little bit of plastic and upholstery. It's a good feature to have, I feel. The i20, the Baleno, again, they are giving it as standard in all their models. So why in the top end, when the price range is almost the same, that Ford had to cheap out on that? It's another thing that really disappoints me. Going to the market and getting an aftermarket one is a solution to the problem, but I don't like putting aftermarket things, especially because they won't fit well. They will rattle. That's where the noise will start from. And I feel if it can be avoided, just to avoid putting aftermarket things on the car, it's better if Ford had to provide it, instead of me having to go to the market and getting one that fits perfectly into this notch. A solution which I have come up with is, once the car is in a comfortable gear and I don't need to change it for a while, I shift my left hand to the steering wheel and my right hand I rest on this door armrest. That's a solution to a problem, but at the end of the day, I wish I had that instead of having to come up with solutions by myself for this. So Ford, yes, I think 2 things which are not expensive, and I think you should have really provided, was the dead pedal and the armrest. The third thing I'm going to talk about is the projector headlamps and the daylight running LEDs. This is a little bit expensive, I agree, but if Ford is going to sell this top end model at the same range that you get a Baleno and an i20, I think that it is only fair for Ford to provide projector headlamps and daylight running LEDs. The thing about daylight running LEDs is, in a city like Mumbai, you don't really require it. Maybe in Delhi, where the fog and the smog is there during winter times, it's required. It's a very important thing to have. But in a city like Mumbai, it's not required, but it really gives a good aesthetic look to a car. All premium quality cars, all good expensive cars have it. So I don't see why Ford decided not to give it on this. They give it on their EcoSport and their Endeavour. They could have easily provided it on this, and especially since the fact that this was coming out, had just come out recently in the market with a new lineup. The headlights are slightly different from the original Figo model. They're smoked headlights a little bit on the side, so they have been designed. The fact that they have gone into that and they started designing it, they could have easily provided daylight running LEDs and projector headlamps. Daylight running LEDs at least. Projector headlamps is another safety feature, and if Ford is so crazy about safety being its priority and the material that's been used, they could have provided projector headlamps. I'll do a video on the difference between projector headlamps and the normal halogen headlamps that this car has, and why projector headlamps is a step in the right direction and why it's good. We have the Baleno, which provides these white color projector headlamps, which are really good. They're a little too bright, but they're good. And you have i20, which provides the yellow projector headlamps, which is also good. Both the cars also provide daylight running LEDs, and if I feel that this car sitting in the same price range should have had daylight running LEDs. That was one of the reasons that I started getting more inclined towards Baleno and i20 as compared to this car when I was purchasing it, because they had these kind of knick-knack features which make a difference overall. It makes you feel like you're driving something more premium on the road. It makes an appearance better on the road, and it makes night driving also better. i20 is providing cornering lamps, which is another cool thing. If you indicate right, then there's a cornering lamp on the side which comes on and highlights the particular area out there, which is a very good feature while you're driving. Also, if it indicates that the steering wheel has turned a bit, it puts on that lamp directly. So these are the small little things that make a big difference, and that's another safety feature that I think even Ford should have incorporated and thought about. So safety feature is where Ford really claims to be at its top, but when it comes to such things, it just falls short, and I feel going a long way, that's not a cool thing to do. The next thing that I'm going to be talking about is, well, it is keeping in mind that Ford has done this with a lot of safety in mind, but at the same time, something else had to be compromised. What I'm talking about now is the 6 airbags that are there in this car. There are 6 airbags in the top Titanium Plus model, and that's very good. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to buy the car. I do a lot of Mumbai-Pune up-down, and my father wanted me to have the safest car, so Baleno was out because that comes standard with only 2 airbags, and the i20 comes with 6 airbags, and this car comes with 6 airbags. There are 2 standard that come in all models, all the variants, the passenger one and the driver one, and there are 4 more. So on this side here, on top there is an airbag that comes out from here, and there's another airbag that comes out from here, from the seat. And the fact that this airbag has to come out from the seat means that the stitching on the upholstery out here is not that strong as throughout the entire seat. It's a little weak out there. That's because the airbag will deploy from there. The stitching needs to tear when the airbag deploys. So as a result of that, because the stitching has to be weak out there and the upholstery is designed in that way for the airbag to sit out there, I can't put any seats on this car. And Ford is not providing seats from its end, aftermarket seats or seats that I can put on this. So I'm stuck with this upholstery till the time I have this car. And where it's fine, I don't mind the upholstery, but I would love to have leather seats in my car. I would love to have something more. This is my baby. I would like to have something more on this. And I can't do that because Ford does not recommend that I put aftermarket seats on them, stitched by somebody else, and Ford does not provide it by themselves also. The same thing about i20 having these airbags that pop out from here. i20 is willing to give you seats designed by them, leather seats or Exine seats designed by them, to accommodate that weak stitching out there and to let the airbag burst. So i20 is giving it, so why can't Ford? I don't understand why Ford had to compromise on that again. The last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to things that annoy me about my beautiful, lovely Freestyle is the mileage. The mileage is, I don't know how to put this, it's quite poor. I do city driving approximately 14 kilometers from my office and back home on a daily basis, and I get what is displayed at least on the odometer is 9.3 kilometers per liter as of now, and I think that's really poor. The fact that Ford had put a brand new engine into this, a 3-cylinder 1.2 liter engine that produces 93 bhp. They should have kept, I think, a bit of the fuel economy in mind. This is one of the main reasons why people are not buying the Ford Freestyle, or the Ford Freestyle is not selling so much, is because Indians, they would love drive quality and have the sheer pleasure of driving, but at the same time, fuel is a criteria. This is where Ford is really losing out on the entire market, is because its mileage is extremely low. 9.3 is what's displayed right now. I get usually around 12 when I do Mumbai Pune, but if I do my daily driving, my office and back home is just 9.3 kilometers per liter, and I feel that's really low as compared to what Baleno is giving as of now, which is I think around 14 to 15. I wish that this would at least give me 12 on the city. I would be really happy with that, but then again, it's a compromise for the drive quality. So I guess you have to lose something to win something. The drive quality of this car is much better than as compared to the Ford and the i20. So there I win on that. Having said that, that wraps up the 5 things that really disappoint me about this car. I'm going to be making also another video where I talk about what I really love about this car, and one of them is where I'm going to emphasize on the engine and how good the engine is, how peppy the engine is as compared to other cars in the market right now. I'll also be making another video on explaining to you the actual mileage that this car gives me in the city as well as compared to on the highway. This is the petrol variant, by the way. And having said that, I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you all did, please do hit the like, subscribe and share button. I'll be making more such videos. So don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.